From hotspots and hidden gems to lots of local flavor, it's your guide to LA the unscripted way, and tonight we're getting historical. We're paying homage to the people and places preserving a bit of SoCal history. Hello everyone, I'm Dana Devin, and we are visiting some really special places tonight. Classic, authentic, unchanged for decades. They are the spots where we love to go off script. Up first, this place, the Warehouse Restaurant in Marina del Rey.
The Warehouse is a restaurant that was opened up in 1969. It's right here in the heart of the marina, Marina del Rey. It was a vision that Bert Hickson, the original owner, had. He was a cinematographer traveling around the world, and he created a prototype of a menu.
And this is Bert?
And that's Bert.
Okay.
Really handsome, good-looking man.
Wow, that is so cool.
So he took this menu to all these foreign places that he was traveling. I mean, the restaurant didn't exist, but he had already drafted.
So he manifested it.
And I know myself, I lived in Laguna at the time, and the marina was the place for singles. And those are my days, and I would drive all the way from Laguna to come to the marina. And he really was a believer in like entertainment, so he had like great jazz. He loved jazz. On Friday, all these chairs and tables are taken out, and it's all dancing.
Oh wow!
My husband and I, we were always fans of the Warehouse, and so it became available. We just love the variety. This is the restaurant that I come to that I feel like I'm on vacation, because the weather is always nice, and looking out on the marina with all the boats, so it's a fun place.
How can you be in a bad mood if you're working here? Oh, this is so great.
It really is like an old marine warehouse. You'll see the boats, of course, the barrels, the boxes that were like shipping boxes.
And you have a tiki bar, which we're huge fans of tiki on this show.
So it looks a little touristy from the outside. They can't really tell what the view is from our patio, and the great food that our chef Raul prepares. Steak, seafood place, a little bit old school, but our menu is pretty much a standard like seafood steak place with a little twist. When you actually come in, you're walking a plank up the boardwalk, and you'll pass by, all of the palm trees that we have here, and a koi pond that's full of beautiful fish that continually replenish, and the kids, feed.
Come here! Hi guys, there's lots of food for everybody. It's a buffet. Just like inside.
It's just a really interesting place to come in because your eyes are always moving. There's so much to see.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. You guys, it is truly packed with memorabilia in here. You'd love it. Come check it out. All right, another spot I never even knew existed, and a true LAU story, because this neighborhood is such a hidden gem. Who knew this was here? I've lived here for 20 plus years. I had no idea about any of this.
Carroll Avenue is a charming little street in Angelino Heights, which is near Dodger Stadium. The highest concentration of Queen Anne style architecture built in the Victorian age.
Tell me about this house.
This is the Phillips House. It was built in 1887.
1887.
1887. We need to protect them because they reflect a time and a period and architectural style that we are losing rapidly. We can't go forward until we look at our past and see where we came from. The Queen Anne's that we have here are reminiscent of our childhood and fairy tales. The houses that are on this street are national monuments, historical monuments. It has a lot of East Lake styling, which we see in the lace and the knobs and the dental, which are the little squares that look like teeth.
What are these?
Well, this is a hitch for the horse and a carriage step, but this carriage step is original. And
So that's where they would pull up and they would step on that to get out?
Yes, exactly.
This is unbelievable. I am in love with this house. Tell me everything.
This was one of the later houses, Victorian-wise, Queen Anne style, on the street. This is the Sessions House.
Okay.
It was built in 1889.
Okay, I know I've seen this house somewhere.
Yes, it's the Charmed House.
Stop! It was in Charmed?
Yes, it was in Charmed.
You know, Nicole, I was in an episode of Charmed.
You were.
Yeah, I was demon number 2.
Did you eat anybody?
I ate a person, and it was riveting television. Okay, the Thriller House.
The Thriller House.
Oh my God, tell me about this house.
One of the things that's really cool about the Thriller House is its widow's walk on the very tip.
Oh, I didn't know what that was called. I love those.
The widows actually would go out walking looking for their husbands if they were coming home on the ships or not. The LA Conservancy is located online at laconservancy.org. We give tours of downtown. We have special tours in the spring and the fall. The LA Conservancy is a nonprofit that advocates and educates for the buildings, historical neighborhoods, architectural concentrations that need to continue on and be a part of the fabric of Los Angeles, the history of Los Angeles.
That's why I love this show, you guys. This is a hidden gem. Like, this street is a hidden gem. That's why I love this show. And there's more history ahead, but this time it's the cool kind with cocktails. LA Unscripted will be right back. Welcome back to LA Unscripted. I'm Dana Devin. So many classic spots in SoCal to explore. Now, a giant wiener in WeHo makes a classic return to SoCal. That's a really, really good hot dog.
We just love vintage Americana, and we see a lot of that stuff kind of going away. So we're doing our best to try to preserve it as much as possible. And this is our newest venture called Tail of the Pup. We actually opened on July 20th, which was National Hot Dog Day.
Amazing.
So Tail of the Pup started in 1946. Originally, it was on the corner of La Cienega and Beverly, a super popular spot until about the 80s where they lost their lease. Another example of something called programmatic architecture, which is a building in the shape of something else. The whole concept of that was for the automobile industry, where cars started to go fast. Owners needed to do something creative to be known. And so they used to build buildings that look like something else, like the Whiskey Barrel or the Shoe or the Randy's Donuts, things like that. That's the way it was back in the day.
Okay.
That's one of the original recipes with grilled onions and our own proprietary mustard that we made. This hot dog was the original hot dog from 1946. So in 2008, the business shuttered and the hot dog stand went into storage. And then eventually it went to this thing called the Valley Relics Museum. So we took it was obviously in a lot of disarray, so we restored it and then we moved it here. We have like 6 or 7 different types of hot dogs. Our fries are amazing, our onion rings, we have soft serve shakes, we have gluten-free corn dogs, we have soft serve, we have shakes, and we actually have a full liquor license here, so we have beer and canned cocktails. First of all, it's been a famous hot dog stand that's been in a ton of movies throughout the years. If you remember like the famous Steve Martin movie, LA Story, it was literally flying in the air in one of the opening scenes there. I used to come here with my mom when I was a kid, so it's kind of cool to be able to bring back a piece of history.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Welcome to Tail of the Pup.
Thank you.
What can I get you? I've wanted to learn how to make a soft serve for a long time. So we got our cone.
Got your cone. All right, so we're gonna go with the mixed swirl in the middle there.
Yeah.
So it's very important to fill up the cone. While
Okay, so
you're
it goes
doing
down in there?
Yeah, so just hold the cone up close to the bottom.
Okay.
And then pull down on the lever.
Okay.
And it'll start coming out.
Okay,
And
then what?
start swirling. Yeah, keep pulling.
Oh!
And there you go, stop whenever. I'm not the greatest teacher, but
It really tastes good though.
This particular location was the old original Doors recording studio. They recorded LA Woman here. Jim Morrison, because of the really good acoustics, was kind of known to record in the bathroom. You never know, but we think his ghost might be in there still. If you look, it's quiet enough, you may be able to hear something.
Still ahead, where the stars have cocktailed for decades and a giant chicken. We'll be right back with more LA Unscripted. Welcome back to LA Unscripted. I'm Dana Devin. Now, this place first opened its doors in 1939 across from the Samuel Goldwyn Studios. Stars like Frank Sinatra, Humphrey Bogart, Elvis Presley, and James Dean all grabbed a drink at this famed bar.
This is the oldest red car train left in existence.
In the entire world?
In the entire world, the oldest one. I have a hard time meeting someone who doesn't have history at the Formosa. A lot of times it's embarrassing history. It's like, oh my gosh, I totally passed out there when I was 19. You know, one of those things. This was obviously Elvis's booth.
Oh, this was Elvis's actual booth.
This was Lana Turner and Mickey Cohen's booth.
Oh!
So Formosa dates back originally to the 20s. A man named Lem Kwan was the chef, and he was Taiwanese. Jimmy Bernstein was his business partner. And Jimmy Bernstein was like a bookie, you know, he was running in that kind of Hollywood scene. So he was friends with Bugsy Siegel, Mickey Cohen. He let those guys hang out here and like run backdoor operations and then give him a cut. Bugsy didn't want to exchange money with anybody.
Okay.
What they would do at nighttime, they would sit in this booth and there was a safe on the floor with a door, and they'd open it up, do the combo, and put his money in it and close it up and leave. So we put a little, plaque and a little light in there.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
And so those people were really here. You know John Wayne actually fell asleep in the booth and stayed here all night and made breakfast in the morning. Like Elvis bought a Cadillac for one of the waitresses. It's all written down. It's all there. It's not just hearsay. That's one thing that people don't really know about. Lem Kwan kept these large autograph books. This is volume 5.
Okay, of autographs.
Of autograph books.
That's Guns N' Roses.
James Dean.
James Dean! This is amazing!
Formosa to me was very important, not only to my upbringing in LA. This is one of my maybe top 5 favorite places when I was in my early 20s. So we met with them and we told them who we were, and we put our money where our mouth is. We spent a couple $1 million doing it because it had to be done right and it had to be done true to history. And we got all the artifacts back from Lem's son-in-law. I wanted to find a Taiwanese chef because that to me was important.
This is like real orange chicken.
This is real orange chicken.
Okay, ready? Oh my God. Oh, wow.
It's really good, isn't it? I mean,
the sauce on that is delicious.
Yep, it's a fried tofu.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. Just your classic chow mein with shrimp. The beef and broccoli.
Beef and broccoli is my favorite dish, period.
That's incredible.
So get a little broccoli, get a little steak. Oh yeah, that is amazing. That's my new favorite. I'm bringing my parents here. They're gonna come here from Texas. I'm bringing my parents here.
You should.
Because they would love this.
I felt like not only was I saving a restaurant, I was saving Hollywood. I was saving old Hollywood. It was always kind of treated as though it was a landmark, but it never officially was. And so after the restoration, the city said, okay, now we're actually gonna officially make it a landmark. And so now it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big
Thank
deal.
you. It is.
That place was so cool and the food was delicious. All right, now we wouldn't be LA Unscripted without stories like this and people like Amy and Noah. After 30 years and probably around $30,000, LA's favorite local landmark has finally found his forever home. These people are crazy about Chicken Boy. I finally found other people who don't think like most other people. Like, unbelievable, people love Chicken Boy.
Yeah.
My name is Amy Inoue, and tonight I'm revealing Chicken Boy. He was on top of a restaurant that was called Chicken Boy. Chicken Boy went up on the building in about 1969. I moved down here from the Bay Area when I was about 20. I moved down to go to art school, and I would just get up every morning and drive around. I'm driving up Broadway and I see Chicken Boy. Our eyes met. It was something. What happened was he just made me feel at home. So then I kept track of him.
Oh my God, these are amazing pictures. You did such a good job of keeping all this.
So one day I'm driving by and there was a for lease sign on the building and it was boarded up. So I kept calling them and saying, what's gonna happen with the statue? Please don't destroy him. And then they one day said, well, if you're so concerned about saving him, come and get him. At that point, I didn't know he was 23 feet tall. But here we are, okay, we're moving him. We found some people who would help us and we sent them down in the middle of the night to take him off the building. They went down there with the right equipment. They had a cherry picker and a welder guy and all this kind of stuff. And once we got him down, it was another problem, what to do with him. So I had him in storage for a little over 23 years until we moved to this neighborhood. I had a chance to put him on my roof.
Oh my God, and you do see how big he is. When you finally see him laying down. You can't tell when he's up there.
I know.
No, is that you wearing the head?
Yes, so he's been up on the roof for about 12 years. He's not going anywhere. I hear from lots of people, oh, my son makes me drive by Chicken Boy all the time so he could say hi. My office, sort of a gallery, what we refer to as a gallery. We have had maybe 100 gallery shows here, but COVID sort of shut that down. So now I'm looking towards maybe starting that up again a little bit and opening up the little Chicken Boy shop sometime maybe in the spring.
That restaurant is so beautiful inside. There is so much history and the food was delicious. Okay, another favorite history keeper of mine, the owner of Clifton's Republic, who blew me away with his preservation of an almost 80-year-old business.
So Pacific Seas is a tiki adventure bar that lives within Clifton's Republic. What I did was I actually restored the original 1930s era Clifton's Brookdale, and then I added additional floors to it, and I created separate venues in each of those locations.
I don't even know where to start. There's so many beautiful things here. But obviously this bar is a standout. It's kind of an Art Deco.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
This was eBay. This was definitely one of my finer eBay purchases. Clifton's was originally actually the terminus of Route 66, which ended at 7th and Broadway right in front of the building. Obviously, Route 66 has moved on and the city has moved on, but Clifton's Republic's still here as the landmark center to downtown. It's sort of the beating heart of the original social, creative life and spiritual life of downtown.
This is insane. So in here, there's an actual boat, right? Okay, it's a DJ booth. It's very smart. But where'd you get a boat?
Another amazing eBay find. It's always surprising to me when somebody says that they haven't been here because there's been 170 million people through these doors in the last 90 years. So it's been such an institution and a part of downtown Los Angeles and Los Angeles culture in general. I've been collecting everything here in this location. I collected personally every item over my entire lifetime. One of the first things I ever discovered and fell in love with and decided to collect is actually in this room.
This right here?
That right there.
Where'd you get it?
It was in Kenya. We got it from a Maasai village. And it was the first thing that I think probably started igniting my passion both for adventure but also for collecting things. This is actually a little bit more than a tiki bar. This is an adventure bar. It's a bar that was based upon the golden era of travel in the 1930s when people first were able to go and travel to exotic places and discover new people and new lands and new cultures. And they wanted to bring that back and they wanted to share that with everybody. And then tiki eventually evolved out of the tiki culture, which are the carvings and the statues that represent individual gods from within in a whole variety of different cultures.
I love the respect you have, even for the things that are technically props. Like, you just have such a respect for all of the history and integrity of everything.
That, to me, it's really important that the authenticity is maintained.
Right.
Because the history is not something you can reproduce. I won the Conservancy's award for design and restoration when we actually finally reopened after about 3.5 years of restoration. Bamboo Ben and I started working on this at a relatively early stage when this space was just a shell. And he has an incredible legacy, and he's got this extraordinary talent to do authentic different methods and materials within a space like this. Yeah. This is Tiki Bob's
Tiki Bob's
San Francisco.
Oh my, is that the first tiki bar ever?
Yeah, that is seen by most people as the original tiki bar.
Wow!
I actually had the pleasure of meeting Diane Disney, who was Walt's daughter, and she told me stories about how she used to go to Clifton's with her dad. He would take her and walk her through the space and show her the trees and the babbling brook downstairs and sit by the big stone fireplace. And he pointed out the little stone chapel, which actually was his first inspiration for the castle at Disneyland. And I did tell her that everybody said that this place was very Disney-esque, and she stopped me and she says, no, 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 don't let anybody ever tell you that. Disney is very Clifton's-esque.
And that is all the time we have for tonight. We may be a young city, but we have so much cool history to preserve, and we love the people who are doing it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Mwah.